Hey everybody, it's me, it's Michael B. Hope you guys are having a fantastic Friday. Today we're going to be talking about House of the Dead Remake coming to the Nintendo Switch. We have a date, it's coming April 7th, I'm very excited. Also, Arcade1Up. Mysteriously, Dragon's Lair disappeared from the website this morning and had everybody going crazy, but now it apparently is up and we have a finite pre-order date. And also, we've got some other home arcade news to talk about it. Let's get to it right after this. Hey everybody, hope you're having an amazing day, getting super excited for the weekend. Don't forget Super Game Room Dudes later tonight. We've got some home arcade and video game news I wanted to talk about today just for fun. So thank you so much for watching and hope you enjoy the video. First up, I want to talk about the House of the Dead remake. This is fascinating to me for so many reasons. I feel like I should have known this was happening, but I guess I forgot about it, and I never saw it until today when it was announced again, and I was like, holy shit. So for those of you who haven't seen it yet, we have a House of the Dead remake coming to the Nintendo Switch April 7th, and I can't tell you how friggin' excited I am for this. I'm a huge fan of the House of the Dead series, huge fan of the House of the Dead 3 on the Xbox, and I'm looking forward to seeing how this experience will run. Now, Nintendo has said, this is an experience you can play with the Joy-Cons. They've rigged the Joy-Cons up so they work kind of like a gun, so expect this to be a lot like House of the Dead 2 and 3 was on the Wii. Now, why this is super surprising is because for years now, there's been this rumor out there in the gaming community, and I don't know how real this is, not real this is, but apparently Sega lost the source code for House of the Dead 1. Now, I don't know if that's the arcade version or the Sega Saturn version. Basically, this is the rumor that's led to the Sega Saturn version being so insanely expensive, and it was never released again. I went looking for articles online and expected at least Reddit to have some information to fall back on, but this is all I could find was GameFAQs, and it was someone saying, I want the entire House of the Dead collection for my Wii, because they were talking about how good House of the Dead 2 and 3 is on the Wii, and it really friggin' is. So, I don't know, but apparently, I don't know if they found the source code or they built this from scratch, but we're getting the remake now. And I mean, guys, this looks fantastic. I can't wait to get my hands on this. I also hope that Nintendo rig up some kind of gun attachment, or someone does, a third-party maker, rig up a gun attachment for the Joy-Con so it feels more like a gun. And I will also tell you, I can't wait until see everybody making their own home arcade projects. We've already got the Intech gaming thing, so people can do this with an Arcade1Up. I'm sure people are going to plug their Nintendo Switches into the AtGames Legends Ultimate. I can't wait to see more House of the Dead remake. Yeah, guys, so early hot start. I completely forgot about this, I guess, or didn't believe it was happening. That looks amazing. I can't wait to play House of the Dead remake on the Nintendo Switch. That's a day one buy. This is the same team, apparently, according to our GT85, that did the Panzer Dragoon remake, and apparently that turned out really well. So I love this. Saturn remakes and arcade remakes. Good stuff, people. We need more of that. Anyways, turning my attention now, going more to the home console market, there was a little bit of an uproar in the Arcade1Up community today, because in a year where people are craving and clamoring for more and more new products to be released and not rehashes of old products, it kind of looked like for a while we were actually going to be losing a new product that we hadn't got yet. So that's right, guys. News broke early this morning. I had a couple people messaging me, asking me to make a video about it. I'm glad I didn't, because they were saying Dragon's Lair is gone from the Arcade1Up webpage. And I wish I had my time back, that I went on and went through the webpage and at least recorded it now to show you footage for that. But all I got left is this comment right here on the Facebook page from the Arcade1Up official global fan page from Chris McCorvey saying, Arcade1Up, Dragon's Lair is gone. Arcade1Up has removed Dragon's Lair from the website. It was disappeared, and people were putting the craziest comments in there about the cab being canceled, and that's kind of what we all thought. And they were also saying that this was a sign the company was dying. Just bananas stuff. Now, before anybody puts this in the comment, yes, I'm aware that you can play Dragon's Lair on the iArcade. I have an iArcade, I have Dragon's Lair, I have Dragon's Lair 2, and I have Space Ace on it. So yes, I can already play all of those games. I think anybody buying an Arcade1Up, that's not really the point. You don't buy an Arcade1Up, make that kind of investment just to play these games, because there's other means to do it. I mean, we all know about multicades, we all know about the iArcade. We know there's other ways to do it. You buy it because you're enamored by playing the games in what looks like the original cabinet. It's like buying a, what is it called? Like a quarter arcade, except it's a little bit bigger, if that makes sense. So yes, we're aware this wasn't that big a deal. You can play it anyways on the iArcade. No need to comment that. Anyways, for all those people that were concerned, no need to be alarmed. Dragon's Lair is, in fact, back on the Arcade1Up website, and we finally have some news that pre-orders are going to open in June. So this is kind of like the whole Veer thing in Monday Night Raw. When is Veer coming? That's been the joke in the community for so long with Dragon's Lair. We've been waiting, but it looks like orders are going to open in June. We're finally going to be able to get at least our hands on knowing we'll at 1.0 Dragon's Lair. That's not saying the cabinet's coming in June. Just pre-orders. Now, another thing I want to clear up. Cool Toy was fast to point out, when this ad went back up, this is the old render and image featuring the BYOS, Bring Your Own Screen. John D has been on my show, and I think he was on Your Average Gamer's show as well, and dropped some information on this. They have since went out and sourced a distributor for the actual alphanumeric screens, so this will have dual screen functionality with an alphanumeric screen, according to John D. Let's wait and see what happens. That BYOS, Bring Your Own Screen, was BS. So I'm glad to see that they've thought that, and they're going to make this cab as accurate as possible to the original. One of the other things I really wanted to mention here, which is really strange, usually when these cabs come out, they give you a little bit more information on specs, maybe the size, something along those lines. But if you go down to features and specs, it only lists the games. So that's kind of strange, but I guess they're still working on the cabinet. Like I mentioned, that BYOS screen is gone. They're going to have a second screen, so they didn't want to release too many details at this time. The other thing, why I think that the cabinet had disappeared this morning, it looked like Arcade1Up had done some restructuring on their website, and they might have been getting this ad. They took it down just to get ready to announce the pre-orders, or maybe this was in response to everybody freaking out about it. I don't know. But Dragon's Lair is back up there. It's happening, and I'm relieved. Yeah, I will say I'm relieved. This is the cabinet I'm looking the most forward to. Like right now, I got a full arcade. I got a wife that's having a baby. I don't need to be spending money on arcades. So if I pick up something else from Arcade1Up, it's got to be something special with arcade significance, and that I'm going to enjoy not just playing, but also looking at and having as a piece of collection or furniture. You understand what I mean, in my arcade, along with the fact that I'm going to be playing it. And Dragon's Lair totally fits that bill. So this is the next one I have lined up that I'm going to purchase, and I'm going to stay strong and not buy anything else until then. We'll see. Anyways, I do have some other home arcade news for you. Next up is iArcade, and this story is kind of be a little bit funny because it also involves a game disappearing from the website. So guys, if you're a fan of the iArcade and you're part of the iArcade community on Facebook, you would have seen a post from our good buddy MCAP. Also, if you haven't yet, go check out the Basement Corner Arcade. MCAP and Scott do awesome work, and they're also doing their third-party sponsorship happy hour with AtGames, so go check that out as well. But anyways, Mike posted in the iArcade community earlier that Evolution Soccer and Tiger Heli are live now. Now, I don't give a shit about Evolution Soccer. I'm sure it's a great game, but Tiger Heli is another awesome shoot 'em up game with ties back to consoles. A lot of NES fanatics like myself love Tiger Heli, so it was cool to see the game announced for the iArcade. However, when you go to the store and you check out recent games, you'll see Evolution Soccer, which is the game I mentioned, and yeah, you guys can check that out. Let's see, Pico Interactive. I'm not that big a Pico fan, to be honest. But anyways, Pico Games, Evolution Soccer is there, but what you will notice is no Tiger Heli. For some reason, it's come down. Now, I still have the demo open on YouTube, so you can check it out for yourself. It's a really cool arcade game. Graphically, the NES kind of nailed it. Yeah, well, it's got that style. It's back from 1942. It's a vertical screen game, vertical scrolling shooter. Good, fun game. $7.99, good price, but for some reason, it is no longer on the II Arcade store page. So the second time today, a game was announced for a home arcade company that was taken down. So I find it funny that we're also including Dragon's Lair in this conversation. But there's Tiger Heli. I reached out to Jong because I'm part of the iArcade Inner Circle, which is their version of the Arcade1Up Illuminati. And Jong just told me, yes, it is down right now, but Michael should have an update later today if he hasn't updated it already. And we have one other small piece of home arcade news that's been covered a little bit, but I would feel kind of strange not talking about it myself because I think this is an insane value. And I just wanted to share this with you, even though you've probably already seen it 100 times, guys. So for those of you in the continental United States, if you have a GameStop by you, or you can order from GameStop and have them shipped to you, you might want to go there now to the website, type in AtGames, and take a look at these two deals. You can get an AtGames Legends Gamer Pro for $99 and the AtGames Legends Gamer Mini for just $49.99. Now, the AtGames Legends Gamer Pro, I have one of these. I've been meaning to do a review on it for over a year now. I might finally get to it, especially with this deal on. But if you take a look at it, this is an awesome fight stick, 2-player fight stick, 8 buttons, 8 buttons for fighting games. It's got the trackball in the middle, so, you can play awesome trackball games. And the other cool thing, too, is with the core puck, if you have a TV that you can turn sideways, you can also change the monitor aspect, the TV aspect on the device and play vertical games in not correct aspect ratio, but change it to vertical settings, so that'll look really good. And playing pinball in vertical settings with this thing looks amazing because it'll fill up the full screen. I know people that use this alone as their pinball build and just play the AtGames pinball games, the Zachariah, Farsight, and those games alone on a table, and bring some other stuff too. This is an awesome deal. I love my AtGames Legends Gamer Pro, and for $100, this is an absolute no-brainer just for the pinball aspect alone. Then if you head back over, you can also check out the AtGames Legends Gamer Mini. This is a 1-player fight stick. Even if you're never going to use your core puck or play it that way, it's perfect just for plugging in to your PC and using it as a controller on your PC for shit like Fightcade, different stuff like that. The buttons and sticks are fantastic on these. AtGames spared no expense on the actual controls. They're great, so there's no complaints there. Now, the other thing is, this is the cheapest you're going to get in at a reasonable price point to the AtGames arcade ecosystem. I talk about it all the time. They've got online leaderboards. They've got an online experience. You can play multiplayer through ArcadeNet. And this is the cheapest way to do it, other than buying like the core with the puck itself and bring your own controller, or even with the control pad. This is cheaper than that. You get the Legends Gamer Mini and a puck for $50. This is an insane deal. Anybody thinking about even getting into the AtGames ecosystem anywhere, this is the way to do it. Now, I won one of these from Build Your Own Legends Season 2, and I'd love to be able to show you a little bit more about it, but I still haven't received mine yet from the contest. Hopefully they ship mine soon, and I think it's awesome that this is on sale for $50. There's no reason you should not have one in your home at that price point. You will not find a better deal. You can't even buy an arcade fight stick for $50 this quality. Really good deal. So guys, you might want to jump on this deal. Last but not least, a little bit of personal news. You guys all know that I suffer from a case of the FOMO-itis. I don't even know if that's the right thing. The FOMO monster gets me every time, and I bought tons of Arcade1Ups just because I could, and because they were available, or I watched other people's reviews, and it got to me. Well, just this past week, I actually put a reservation down on something else because of FOMO. So that's right, guys. I put a reservation down on the Steam Deck. And I know people are kind of shitting on this. The reviews weren't as positive as some people hoped. The battery life is not great. The screen is a little duller than some people expected, but mostly from watching what everybody said, I still couldn't pull myself away from it. I was like, how cool is that I can use cloud saves and just take the game I'm playing on my PC, and especially with a new baby, be down on the couch with the baby, and while she's sleeping, be able to whip out the Steam Deck and just pick up my progress in whatever game I'm playing on my PC on my Steam Deck. It's amazing that I'm even considering buying this in the first place, because I was never a PC gamer. I have friends, Mr. Dude 206, Stu, my buddy Chris, used to be Weekend Game Guy, now Slaying Mold, and I used to make fun of them all the time because they talk about PC games and trade Steam games back and forth, buying each other codes. But I got a new PC last year, finally got into Steam, and I've become quite enamored. I'm at the point where I've got 60 games in my Steam library. It's probably pretty small compared to other people, but it's still growing. I love the fact that there's a Steam sale every weekend. Just the other night, I bought every game in the Arkham series, like Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, Arkham Knight, and even Arkham Origins, for less than $20 Canadian. Like, it's bananas that you can do that and then play them, and apparently they run really well on the Steam Deck. So I put a reservation in. I'm getting the really expensive one, which is crazy, like $820 here in Canada. So now I'm like the rest of you guys. I'm going to sit back and I am going to wait for my email. So right now I am in this wave right here. Expected order availability after Q2 2022. So I've got some time yet. I think that leaves me somewhere around July, August before I'll get my email. So time to save up, and the baby will be here by then, so good timing. Anyways, guys, that's all the news from this past week. You got a couple good sales. You got some new games coming out on iArcade. Nothing mind-blowing, but still progress. We'll wait and see what happened to Tiger Heli. And also, Dragon's Lair, still coming. Super excited about that. Pre-orders go live in June. And April 7th, get ready to blow the shit out of some zombies on House of the Dead Remake, coming on the Nintendo Switch. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching this video today. Hope you guys have an amazing Friday. For those of you watching this video today, we'll see you on Super Game Room Dudes later tonight. Otherwise, have a great weekend. This is Michael B. the Game Genie, and I'll talk to you next time.